Hi friends, this is me Datta. Welcome to my channel. If you are new to my channel, ding dong, please don't forget to subscribe. So today we will be studying the poem ABHISARA-THE TRYST by Rabindranath Tagore. Now before we begin the poem, you must know that ABHISARA was originally written in Bengali in a collection called Kotha o Kahini. Later, Tagore himself translated the poem in English and titled it as The Tryst. And this English translation, it appeared in the collection called Fruit Gathering. Now you must know that what does Abhisara mean? Abhisara means a meeting that has been arranged in advance. So in this poem, we will come across two different characters named Upagupta and Vasavadatta. And Upagupta, he is going to promise Vasavadatta to meet her again. So a meeting will be arranged in advance. So that is why Tagore, he has selected the title Abhisara. So without much delay, let us quickly start the poem. Upagupta, the disciple of Buddha, lay asleep in the dust by the city wall of Mathura. So Upagupta was a disciple. A disciple is a follower. And Upagupta was a follower of Lord Buddha. He was laying asleep in the dust. He was sleeping in the roadside. Roadside? Which roadside? By the city wall. City wall means the boundary, the outskirts of Mathura. So from the very opening lines, Tagore, he is telling the audience, he is informing the audience about the setting of the poem. The poem has been set in Mathura, and Upagupta, a follower of Lord Buddha, he is sleeping in the roadside, in the dusty roadside by the boundaries of Mathura. Because it is night, the lamps were all out, doors were all shut, and the stars were all hidden by the murky sky of August. So it is the month of August, that is, it is the monsoon season, and that is why the sky is murky. What do you mean by murky? It is clouded, it is dark. So the lamps are all out. The doors, naturally, because everyone is sleeping, the doors of the houses, they are shut. And the stars, because the sky is clouded, they are hidden, they are covered. So from the very opening 4 lines, we know that Mathura was in complete darkness. Now in that darkness, what happened? Whose feet were those tinkling with anklets, touching his breast of a sudden? This is a rhetorical question. What is a rhetorical question? A rhetorical question is a question that a poet, he uses to create an effect in his poem. That is, Tagore, he doesn't want us to answer the question, but he has added this question in his poem to create some sort of effect, a dramatic effect sort of. So he is saying that when Upagupta, he was lying outside the city wall of Mathura, someone had come with tinkling anklets and had touched his breast. His breast refers to Upagupta's breast. Touched means the person tripped over Upagupta's chest. And this happened of a sudden. Because you see, it was dark, and so this person who was passing by, he overlooked Upagupta and tripped on his breast. Now another thing you must mark over here is the word tinkling. Tinkling is an example of onomatopoeia. What is onomatopoeia? It is a literary device where words are used to replace some sort of a sound, like slam, buzz. All these are examples of onomatopoeia. So the sound of the anklets, that was tinkling. And when this person tripped over Upagupta's chest, what happened to Upagupta? He woke up startled, he woke up amazed, he woke up shocked, and the light from a woman's lamp fell on his forgiving eyes. So Upagupta, he had forgiving eyes because he was a disciple of Buddha. He had this power to forgive. The ability of forgiveness was there in him. So he wakes up amazed and shocked, and this woman who tripped over him, she had a lamp along with her to overcome the darkness of the night. And so the light from the lamp, it fell on Upagupta's eyes. So the theme of darkness and light, it is there in the poem from the very opening stanza. The first 4 lines shows the darkness in Mathura, but as we read on, we see that light is falling from the lamp that the woman is carrying on Upagupta's forgiving eyes. Then we are told who this woman was. It was Vasavadatta, the dancing girl. So the identity of this woman is being revealed. Tagore is introducing the readers to who this woman was. This woman was a dancing girl, and she was starred with jewels. Starred with jewels means she was adorned, she was covered with jewels, and clouded with a pale blue mantle. Clouded means she was dimmed. She was dimmed. Her mantle, that is her robe or her dress as you can say, it was pale blue color, light blue color, and that is why it made her look dull, clouded, dimmed. But then she was wearing jewelry, and that gave her an impression of beauty. Drunk with the wine of her youth. Now this is a metaphor. Just the way a drunkard is intoxicated with excess wine, Vasavadatta, she was intoxicated with her youth, with her beauty. So she was proud of her beauty. So she is a person who loves materialistic things. She has materialistic desires. She wears jewels, she wears anklets. But Upagupta, you see, he is a very simple and humble person who does not take refuge in any grand house of Mathura, but he is lying on the streets, the dusty earth. Then, when Vasavadatta, she realizes that she has tripped over somebody, what does she do? She lowered her lamp and saw the young face. So she wanted to see whom she had tripped over. And what did she see? Austerely beautiful. Austerely means someone who is very simple, without any decoration. But this person, whoever he was, he is very beautiful. So Upagupta, he is simply beautiful without any decoration. Unlike Vasavadatta, who had to adorn herself to increase, to enhance her beauty and her youth. So because Vasavadatta, she had tripped on Upagupta's chest, she is asking for forgiveness. "Forgive me, young ascetic," said the woman. So she is asking the ascetic, that is the hermit Upagupta, to forgive her. "Graciously come to my house." Graciously meaning very kindly come to my house. So she is inviting Upagupta to her house. She is making an offer. "The dusty earth is not a fit bed for you." So you see, Vasavadatta, she believed in luxury. When she finds that Upagupta is lying on the dusty earth outside the boundaries of Mathura, she is inviting him to her house and saying that the earth is dusty and not a place to rest. The young ascetic, that is Upagupta, he is answering back to Vasavadatta. "Woman, go on your way. That is, please don't be bothered by me. You can continue to go wherever you are going." Now, way here, it has two meanings. One is that Upagupta, he is asking Vasavadatta to lead on her way. And another meaning is that Upagupta, he is telling Vasavadatta to keep with her intentions. He doesn't want her to change her way of thinking. So you think the way you want. The way of thinking here means the way Vasavadatta thought about materialistic things. Her thoughts about appearance, her thoughts about being beautiful. So this idea, this concept of living in a world with materialistic desire, this way of living is being addressed by Upagupta. So Upagupta is telling her, "I am leading a life of simplicity. Let me lead it this way. You go on your way." That is a life that is filled with material desire. Because when the time is ripe, I will come to you. So there will be a time, an appropriate time. That time I will come to you. Come to you meaning I will visit you. So this is not the right time. So here we see that there is a conflict between spirituality and materialism. While Upagupta, he is a spiritual person, Vasavadatta, she believes in material desires, in jewelry, in appearance. Now as we move on to the third stanza, we will see that because it is the monsoon season, you have thunder and lightning. Suddenly the black night showed its teeth in a flash of lightning. So this is an example of a personification. What is a personification? A personification is a figure of speech where some sort of a human-like character is attributed to a non-living thing. So see, the black knight is showing its teeth. So this is the human character of showing the teeth that has been attributed to the knight. So that is why the black knight here has been personified. So suddenly this black knight is showing its teeth. And how is it showing its teeth? With the help of a flash of lightning. So the lightning is just like the teeth of the black knight, as if it is showing its teeth. So you have a storm, a thunderstorm coming. The storm growled from the corner of the sky, and the woman trembled in fear. Growled again is an onomatopoeia, because it is the sound of thunder. So the storm, it is making a loud noise, the sound of thunder from the corner of the sky. Remember the murky sky? And the woman, that is Vasavadatta, she trembled, she was shaking in fear. Fear of what? Fear of the thunder. Now, so far we have seen that the poem took place in August, in the month of August, in the monsoon season. Now, a year had not passed. So, in the same year, what happened? It was evening of a day in April in the spring. So, there is a change in time. There is a shift in time. Now we are talking about the month of April and the spring season. And it is evening. Earlier it was August. The season was season of monsoon and it was night. And because it is the spring season, you have lots of blossoms. The branches of the wayside. The wayside means the roadside. The roadside trees, they were full of blossom. So there was flowers blooming everywhere. Gay notes of a flute came floating in the warm spring air from afar. Gay notes means happy notes. So happy notes of a flute, they came that could be heard from afar. Afar means a distance. So all this happiness, liveliness, blossom, gay notes, all these symbolize the coming of the spring season. And the citizens of Mathura, they had gone to the woods for the festival of flowers. Festival of flowers is an example of an alliteration. What is an alliteration? When two words lie side by side and they begin with the same letter. So F and F, festivals of flowers. So this is an example of an alliteration. So the people of Mathura, they have gone to the woods, that is the forest, to celebrate a festival of flowers. So you see, in the first half, Upagupta, he was isolated. So again, when he returns to Mathura for the second time, he is again alone. Because the people of Mathura, they have left the village and gone to the woods. So Upagupta, he is again alone, the village is empty, and so there is a sense of emptiness throughout the poem. From the mid-sky gazed the full moon on the shadows of the silent town. So naturally the town of Mathura, it is silent because the people have gone. The people have gone to the woods to celebrate a festival of flowers. So the mid-sky gazed the full moon. So here again you see you have a personification because the moon is seen to be gazing. Gazing from where? From the mid-sky. The young ascetic, that is Upagupta, he was walking in the lonely street of Mathura. So in the first stanza, we had seen that the stars were hiding their light in darkness. But here we see that the moon is gazing. So here you have light. Again you have light, but the atmosphere of emptiness is still there. That loneliness prevails in the poem. While overhead the lovesick koils uttered from the mango branches their sleepless plaint. So while Upagupta was walking, he was walking down the mango trees. The lovesick koils, they were sitting on these mango branches. And what were they doing? They were uttering, they were singing sleepless plaint. Sleepless means restless and plaint means complain. So it was as if these koils, they are lovesick. They are calling to their lovers. They are restless. And Upagupta passed through the city gates of Mathura and stood at the base. At the base means in front of the rampart. Now, what is a rampart? Rampart refers to the defense walls of the city of Mathura. So, Upagupta, he passes the mango branches and then he goes through the city gates of Mathura. And he has been lonely throughout. What woman lay at his feet in the shadow of the mango grove? So while he is walking under the mango grove, the mango trees, a woman was lying there at his feet. This again is a rhetorical question. Shadow means the shade of the mango grove. Struck with the black pestilence, her body spotted with sores of smallpox. So this woman, she was struck. Struck means she was suffering. Suffering with what? With black pestilence, that is the disease of smallpox. And because she has smallpox, her body has been spotted with sores, that is, she was swelling. Mark here that spotted with sores of smallpox is an example of an alliteration. She had been hurriedly driven away from the town. So the others in the village, they did not want to get infected by her disease, and so they banished her. They abandoned her and threw her away from the town of Mathura. To avoid her poisonous contagion. Her contagion means a communicable disease. That is smallpox here. So these people, they did not want Vasavadatta's disease to spread among them, and so they isolated her. So this mood of isolation, abandonment can be seen. And here Tagore is also pointing out the social injustice that was taking place. The ascetic, the hermit Upagupta, he sat by her side. He sat beside Vasavadatta, that woman who was suffering from pox. Took her head on his knees. So he is showing signs of love, of compassion. Because in the first stanza we had seen he had forgiving eyes. So here we see he has compassion. And with his love and compassion, he moistened her lips with water. So he wet her lips with water. He gave her some water to drink. And smeared her body with balm. Body with balm is again an alliteration. So he smeared. Smeared means he covered the body of Upagupta with some ointment to give her relief from the pain of smallpox. "Who are you, merciful one?" asked the woman. So the woman, she is inquiring who this person is, because the rest of the people in the village have abandoned her. So suddenly someone is coming and showing love and compassion. So she wants to know who this merciful one is. The time at last has come. So the time is now ripe to visit you, to revisit you, to see you. And I am here, and because of that, I have come to visit you, Vasavadatta, replied the young ascetic, replied Upagupta. So in this poem, you see that we find the theme of love, the theme of compassion. Upagupta, he is showing this unconditional love. He is a very simple person, and Vasavadatta, she believed in materialism. But when we come to the end of this poem, we see that even Vasavadatta realizes that material desires, it is temporary. Her youth, her beauty, all these are temporary. Beauty, it fades with time. And Vasavadatta, she loses her beauty with which she was once intoxicated like a drunkard. She loses that beauty because of the disease of smallpox. In this poem, we also see that there is social injustice happening, and Vasavadatta was therefore abandoned by the people of Mathura. So, spirituality, simplicity, devotion, all these lead to the divine. The conflict between spirituality and materialism has been highlighted. So, in this poem, you find the theme of love, the theme of compassion, the conflict between light and darkness, and also the conflict between materialism and spirituality. And along with all this, we see the social injustice that was taking place in Mathura. So with this, I come to an end of today's discussion. If you have any queries, you can feel free to ask me in the comment section below. I will definitely answer. And please subscribe to my channel as it helps me to create more videos. And there is also a link to a quiz, that is a quiz from this poem. If you want to participate in that quiz, then please check the description below. And I also have a WhatsApp channel whose description is given in the description below. You can join that channel and we practice regular grammar over there. So until I come with my next video, please subscribe to my channel and keep supporting me. Thank you. Ta-da!